guys. It's about 10 to 7. Sun is slowly starting to dip down in the sky over here. It's been an awesome day. We've just been kind of sitting around relaxing now that we've got all the camp chores done. Taking about an hour just to kind of relax and enjoy some time together. I had a cup of coffee, did some Starbucks. I think it's called Pike Place. It's really good. Jenny bought it for me a while back, and I've been kind of just rationing it and only using it maybe once or twice a trip. But it's really good. So I'm kind of awake now, feeling pretty decent. The aches and pains have kind of subsided now that we've been able to sit down a little bit. You know, just the normal little stuff you've gotten. And this is kind of what the trail looks like here in the evening. Site's right over there. Alex is watching a little bit of Criminal Minds that she has on her phone. It's really nice of like some of those streaming services like Netflix and Amazon Prime and things like that to be able to download and have a little something to watch on trail if you get a little downtime and you're just kind of bored. But yeah, I just figured I'd kind of show you what the forest looks like now. It's kind of starting to get a little later in the day. We've got about 2 hours of true daylight. Sun goes down at 8:51. It is 6:51 exactly. Really awesome, guys. And we're definitely going to get a nice picture of the sunset. Like I said, it's coming down right there, right behind our site, down over that ridge. And we'll have daylight probably, I figure, until about 9:30, just because where we're up on the ridge here. I checked it, the moon does come up at 10:23, but it's going to be over this direction. And if you notice, I mean, you've got all the pine trees and stuff, the tall trees, but I believe there's actually a smaller ridge. It's actually just a touch higher than we are out this direction. So probably won't see the moon too much. We're going to start a fire probably about 8:30, 8:45, just before the sun goes down, and just going to burn it as long as we want. Probably not going to make a huge fire, but we do have enough wood probably for a good 4 or 5 hours even. So we figure we're probably going to end up leaving some here, which is fine. I don't mind doing that. This is a neat little tree right here. I noticed this earlier. Like the branches have broke off, but it still continued to grow really big. It's pretty awesome, guys. But anyway, here is the actual technical entrance to Site 4. We actually come into it over this direction a little ways. And up there's the site. Go and walk up here. I have scouted all back over in here and on over that direction as well. The only fire ring that I've been able to find is that one I showed you earlier, which is right over in here. That real tiny fire ring, probably good for a stick fire. There appears to be one out this direction, but it's really old and probably hasn't been used in a few years. This one, actually, I got to looking at it that I saw over there. Actually was probably used this past weekend. May even have been set up very recently as well, because whoever set it up, you can tell they've cleared out around the ring. And just so you know, of course, there was no leaves up against it, and that's been done very recently. Like I said, probably in the last couple of weeks even. We did get another whiff of campfire smoke come up over the mountain, well, up over the ridge here. And yeah, somebody's definitely got a fire down in this valley. In fact, it come up earlier and was so strong and so prevalent, you know, you could smell it, of course, but you could also see the smoke. So probably about the time they rebuild the fire up, it gets a little smoky as it catches, and then that's what happens. But yeah, here's this ring like I was showing you earlier. Like I said, I come over and looked at it a little bit. I did take some of the sticks that was over here for our fire tonight, but if you can tell, it's been cleared out all through here and all the way around. In fact, there's a little area over here that's been cleared out. I would assume whoever stayed at this and used this particular ring, like I said, that's not even really all that wet. Whoever used it, I would assume probably did a hammock hang somewhere in here. Because I don't see an area cleared off for a tent. I was kind of just out of curiosity. It just, you know, seeing who might have been here recently. So I'm figuring maybe they come back over in here, or maybe over in here, and just did a hammock hang, and then had a small fire. because that wouldn't have done a very large fire right there. Just a good stick fire, which is, you know, kind of like what we've done a couple of times. But tonight we actually got a little bit more wood. We had more time and kind of decided we wanted to do it a little bit bigger. Now tomorrow night, especially if we can find some of the wood, similar to what we found tonight, I'll have my axe, because I actually brought it specifically for tomorrow night, and we should be able to do a big fire tomorrow night, and that'll be really awesome. But yeah, here's the site. You know, we just been kind of relaxing. We're kind of sitting over here because this seems to be a little bit more comfortable than those two. This right here, it's kind of slanted. We'll move over there when we start the fire. Of course, I'll probably be up moving around a little bit, just not being as stiff. But this branch actually over in here is pretty comfortable to sit on. You can keep watching your show. You getting a glare from the sun?
Slight one, yeah. But
yeah, okay.
I'm responding to messages because we got data up here, so.
Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, you know, I've been sitting right about here, and Alex, of course, is there. And we've got all of our cook stuffs laid out, you know, because we still got to do dinner, which probably won't be more than a half an hour, because we're both actually kind of getting hungry, but we also know we don't want to eat at 6 o'clock, because by 10 we'll actually be wanting something else to eat, and that'll be kind of crazy. I was kind of walking, like I said, down through here and just looking at the woods a little bit. This spot over in here has been cleared out pretty well. I'd say someone may have had a tent over in here at one point in time recently. Oh, and you do have these little posts I've noticed at all the sites. I saw one last night as we were getting ready to go to bed, and I forgot to show you guys, but most of the sites have these little posts that have the moon on them. Site 3 has it, Site 2 has one, this one has one, Site 6 has one, so any site we've stayed at does have one. But yeah, like I said, I kind of scouted down through here and looked around, and I haven't seen anywhere else that someone has had a fire. There's been a couple of patches, looks like it's been cleared off of maybe a tent or something like that. You know, maybe a group come in and they had a couple of tents a little bit further over this direction, but the fire was still kept in the ring, which, you know, that's the responsible thing to do, because that's what they request you to do here. Yeah, well, I say we're set for the night. I mean, that's kind of our stick pile. We've got these solid logs. If I had my axe, I could cut most of that in half and chop it up and get, you know, split it. We did get this split, so that'll give us a good start. And we've got our small sticks, and then of course our pine needles for tinder. So we should be definitely good for the night. But the only thing we've got left to do as far as camp chores is a bear bag. And that's one thing I've been kind of doing as I've been walking along talking to you guys, kind of scouting some trees. I have 2 or 3 places in mind a little further away from the campsite that I'm sure we can get a bear bag up in. And we should be good to go for the night once we do that. Because once we eat dinner, we may go ahead and put them up, because generally once we eat dinner we don't eat anything afterwards, unless we maybe eat a handful of almonds or trail mix. So, but definitely a pretty area, guys. And I'm loving the way the sun is just bouncing over here. It's about 25 to 8. Sun is starting to creep slowly down in the sky, heading towards the mountains over there. It'll get dark shortly. Still have about an hour and 15, hour and 20 before the sun actually goes down, so that's kind of neat. We have our bear line up, getting ready so we can hang up our bear bags a little bit later. It's about, I don't know, 65 to 75 feet that direction. About 15 feet in the air, so kind of cool. Got everything kind of squared away. Hammocks are ready to be laid down in. I've got my electronics kind of situated so I can get stuff charged. Got all the water filter that we're going to need for the night. We literally have about 5 liters still, which is plenty. You know, we're going to have to cook tonight. Got our cold soaks ready. We probably actually have more water than we actually need for sure. And yeah, now we're just waiting to start the fire. Probably going to start dinners in the next 5-10 minutes. We've been hungry for a while, but you know, we kind of held off for a little bit. And just checking it out, you know, looking around the woods. Kind of pretty. Been watching a little bit of TV, if you will, for a few minutes and just relaxing. But I kind of got antsy, wanted to make sure we got everything kind of squared away, got everything put up. So we're ready to go. You know, I kind of like having as much done as possible before it actually gets dark. That way, you know, it's just easier to deal with stuff, you know, because if it's dark and you got a fire going, you really don't want to have to hop up and do some chores just before you go to bed. So it's just easier to get it done early. Alex is finishing up her stuff, getting her stuff organized and everything. Trying out a little new thing. Shane got me for Father's Day, got me a GoPro accessory. It's basically a attachment for your head. You know, you can put it on your head and just kind of walk around with a pointed view of what you're looking at. Not sure how the video is going to turn out. It's the first time I've used it, so we're going to give it a try. If it ends up in the video and it looks pretty decent, that's cool. Otherwise, you know, I'll edit it out and we'll keep testing it and get it the way I want it. But it's kind of cool. Thank you, Shane, for the cool Father's Day present. You know, for hiking and stuff. Paige got me some poker chips. That was kind of neat. Been teaching Alex how to play Texas Hold'em.
Oh, it's so fun. We've stayed up a little bit later on most nights playing that, and that's definitely something that I do enjoy, because that's just something that, like, me and you get to share, and that's very, very, just, it's very nice. I like it. It's really fun.
Yeah. Just kind of, you know, in between editing and hiking and doing a few things here and there that, you know, I've been teaching her different things like that. So it's kind of cool. Thank you, Paige, for Father's Day present, and everything's been awesome. But yeah, I think you about ready for dinner? It's about 20 to 8. I'm thinking it's about dinner time here.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get dinner, have it done before we start the fire. Finish up our episode. Get into the next one.
For tomorrow's night's dinner. Oh. I'm excited for tomorrow's dinner because I have tacos, which that's a favorite on trail for me. So.
Yeah, my tacos last night were pretty good. I'm kind of excited for the spaghetti tonight, and then I got buffalo chicken, which I actually really enjoyed. Last time I had it, so could be kind of neat. But I think we're going to go ahead and get some dinner going, finish that up, and probably next time we'll see you, we'll have a fire going, guys, and that's going to be really awesome. Like I said, we've got quite a bit of firewood, so should be cool. So guys, sun is just about gone. It clouded over out to the west. I was hoping we'd have a little bit better of a sunset, but there are some clouds along the horizon there. Sun goes down actually in about 16-17 minutes, so not going to get much of a sunset. I was hoping it'd be a little bit better. That's kind of what we're looking at, though. Still kind of pretty. May get some good colors in the sky here in a little bit as the sun kind of dips below the horizon, but for now it's just kind of a little bright and kind of hazy out that direction. We've gotten dinner done. My bear bag is already over there on the line. Alex is finishing closing up hers. You didn't get your cook pouch in there. Alex is finishing putting my bear bag is actually over on the bear line already. Alex is finishing closing up hers now, and we're going to go ahead and hang up the bear bags because we're done eating for the night. I had spaghetti. It was really good. I did a good job with that spaghetti. I mean, Alex was praising it last night. She had her buffalo chicken. She was liking that. Kind of spicy, so it's kind of neat on the trail. And I went ahead and ate a granola bar. I had an extra one that I was actually going to eat earlier today, and I just didn't get to it and just never really wanted it. I figure I'll go ahead and eat it now, fill up. I actually probably overate a hair bit, but I really didn't want to have to worry about, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, having to go hang the bear bag. I'm like, I'm good. I'll eat this granola bar. We'll go ahead and take care of that. Alex is heading that way now. So let's walk on over here and we'll get this bear bag up and kind of square away everything for the night, and we'll get our fire going here probably in the next 5 minutes. Should be a pretty decent fire. Like I said, we'll probably burn it till 11:30, 12 o'clock, maybe even a little bit later, depending on what's going on, how we're feeling, what's going on, and everything. Kind of have a relaxing evening.
So, sadly, with cold soak containers we have. Mine is leaking, so I put it in this little pot by itself so it won't get the rest of what's in my food bag wet. But that is something that's just kind of upsetting because it's leaking quite a bit.
And we've got it in this tree. It's going to go up there. Yeah, her cold soak started leaking. She actually got a little bit in her. I've just got it slid through there, yeah, for now. Should go up pretty easily. Because there's not a lot of weight on it this time. But, yeah, we're going to take it right up there. The tree's a little wobbly, but it'll be okay.
It's sturdy, even though it's wobbling.
Yeah.
Is that high enough?
Yeah, you might go a little bit higher. Right there. That's good. I mean, it's as high as it's going to go, and that's fine.
If I pull on it anymore, it's going off the tree.
You want me to tie it, or you got it?
I can't stitch knot.
Okay.
I'll man the camera. It's cool.
So we're just going to tie it to the tree. I mean, we're not really worried about bear here, but it's all good. Just tie it up. Definitely don't have to worry about any rodents or anything. Got all these bushes here. But don't have to worry about, you know, big animals really, I don't think. We hadn't even really heard any coyotes or anything in the area. But we want to make sure that definitely no rodents get in it or anything like that. And if by chance there would be a bear in the area, we definitely have it in a spot where we don't have to worry about that. Kind of get this up off the ground. So I figure we'll have a little bit of a dew with how cool it's going to get.
Yeah.
Keep that dry as possible. And there you go. It's up. So we're going to head on back over here, kind of finish getting some stuff put up. I think all you got left really is your cook pot. I've already got all my stuff kind of over to the hammocks and kind of squared away. I've taken my backpack and kind of stuffed it in my rain fly, and everything that's loose I've just kind of put in there around it just to keep it, one, cleaner, and two, dry if there is a little bit of dew. And I have it slid up underneath my hammock, so everything's kosher there. I have a nice ridge line that I run along the rain fly, and I kind of have my dry sacks that have like my electronics in it. I have a dry sack that's my ditty bag. It has, of course, like my toiletries and first aid kit, stuff like that. I have that hung up there as well. And of course, I don't know if you noticed earlier in the video, I do carry a fanny pack, and that's for easy access to, like, say, my electrolytes. I have a little bit of medicine in there. That's where I do carry my emergency fire kit. That way, if I would lose my pack, I can still build a fire. Things like that. I have that hung up over here. That's actually on the hammock itself. I have that actually hung up on the straps. So everything's kind of hung up pretty nice and neat. Said I'll show you real quick. That's how I did my pack. And it's just got my extra stuff in there. That's my flops that I normally wear, and got my cook pouch down in there and things like that. And here is the ditty bag. That's my fanny pack. My electronics are up here on the ridgeline itself. And anything else, like, you know, I have that, like I said, that little gear loft or whatever. It's not really a gear loft, but under the under gear sling, basically underneath my hammock. I got my clothes in there. My Anchor battery banks in there, so I can actually charge my phone up, because there's a little pouch I put my phone in over here. And everything else that's left out right now is stuff I'll use. I have my little fire kit, my sit pad, my tripod's out, and my waters. I have a couple bottles of water, and my phone is still sitting out. But everything else is put up. So we're squared away. Alex is the same way, got all of her stuff put up. And we're about to move from this little sit area, where we've got everything set up. This is where we kind of had dinner, had our lunch, things like that. And this is our little setup right now. This is what we're kind of watching quote-unquote TV on. But we're going to move over here and kind of, these, like I said, these aren't great. They're kind of slanted and everything. We'll have to figure it out. But we're going to move over here and get our fire going here in the next couple minutes. And it should be a pretty good night, guys. Got our fire lit, guys. Sun went down 2 minutes ago. We started the fire right about the time the sun went down. And still not really much pretty colors out towards the sky over here. So, no pretty sunset for us tonight. But that's okay, we got this nice fire going. Should keep us warm. Plenty of wood to go around. We should be in good shape. I don't know if you can hear, there's cars out that direction like crazy. We've been hearing them all day, but they're kind of loud now, so. all camp chores are done. Everything's put up. Now we're just going to relax and go to bed here in a little while. It's about 20 to midnight. We're actually getting ready to lay down here in probably about the next 15-20 minutes. Fire's kind of burnt down. That's really about all the wood we've got left. I mean, we did actually leave a few logs over here, and there's some wood stacked up over that direction that we went ahead and left for the next people. Hopefully they can split this up a little bit better than I was able to. Maybe they'll have an axe. But yeah, it's been a pretty good night. It definitely seems to not be as cool as it was last night at this time. You know, granted, we went to bed about 10:30, but at 10 o'clock last night, it was even cooler than it is now. So, of course, we've been sitting beside the fire. Maybe that might make a difference. I'm not sure. But we definitely feel a little bit more high spirits tonight than last night. You know, didn't have the rain to deal with today. It was a good day all the way around in general. Alex is stirring up the fire. Kind of got it built back up a little bit for the next 15-20 minutes. And yeah, pretty good night. Notice that the moon is actually right here. It is just now breaking up over those trees a little bit. So we did get to kind of see it for a second. It's still through the trees, but it's up there. And it was kind of interesting, like the sun went down completely and got really, really dark. You could see the sky, you know, some of the stars. It was pitch black. When I'm out here in the woods in the dark like this, it's kind of neat to see that moon slowly start coming up, especially when it's closer to a full moon, because we're literally 2 days removed from that full moon. It's like 95% going the direction towards a new moon.
Oh, I can actually tell you. I have an app on my phone.
Oh, I do too. I have like 2 apps actually, because I have a meteor shower app, which is really awesome. Tells you when the meteor shower is going to be at their peak and stuff, and then I have another app that does moon and sun. So I think you actually, it's probably the same app because I've seen you bring it up. I think it's the exact same app. But the moon, I don't know if you noticed, I just walked right over here, Lex. It's, oh, well, I don't see it now. It was right back over in here somewhere. Yeah, right here. Except right here, like right beside this tree, you kind of move around, you'll see it in the branches and stuff. It's over there. But yeah, that's kind of neat. Did you see it a little bit? Just kind of, no, it's there. I'll show you here in a minute. Give it another 10 minutes, you'll see it really good. I just kind of know what direction to look at. This is my fire tender. I've taught Alex really well how to build a fire, keep it going, stoke it up when you need to, like you blow into it and stuff. When she was little, she used to call me a fire breather, a dragon. And she tonight looked at me and said, "I'm a dragon now." So that was kind of funny to hear. But yeah, I was watching her. I mean, I've passed on that skill a little bit. I've been teaching her over the last 6 months to a year. Anytime we've been out and built a fire, if you notice, she's got stoked back up really nice. How to provide oxygen to that fire and build it up. Yeah, it's really cool to be able to pass that on to another generation. She'll be out here in the next 20 years with her kids, telling them how to do stuff, and I'll be sitting in the old folks' home.
No.
Not 60. I'll probably still be rolling out here, man. If I can do it, God willing, I'll be out here hiking and fishing and doing stuff. I may not be able to throw out 20 miles a day or 10 miles a day or even 5 miles a day, but if I can get 2 miles, hey, I'm in the woods somewhere. Yeah, she's over here blowing on it now to kind of get it built up. See how it's building? Look at that, look at that. Oh, blow again, blow again. I turn off the light.
I'm trying to get it to catch that last little stick that we had as a poker.
Yeah, we pretty much put all of our small stuff on there. I don't like leaving like small twigs or even like the smaller sticks that are about this size or bigger or smaller, excuse me. I don't like leaving those around because they kind of look cluttered. If you leave the logs, it's not so bad, or even split wood, it's kind of cool. But the smaller stuff I try to put on there and just clean up the campsite before we leave. It's kind of like leave no trace. But if you leave the logs that are split or the actual logs that you've cut with a saw, that in a sense is, I mean, it's still, you're disturbing the site because theirs weren't here when we first got here. But it's also a courtesy to the next camper in a way. So I mean, you gotta kind of balance that leave no trace with that particular idea. It's always nice to get to site if you're tired, you've been 10, 15 miles, whatever, 5 miles even, if it's a little bit harder trail like at Archer's Fork, some of those areas, and you get to site and you say, hey, somebody left me a little stack of wood. It's always good to pay that forward when you can, and I try to do that as often as possible. I mean, there's sometimes, I'll burn all the wood that's set there that somebody else has left and I just don't feel like doing nothing. But the next time I go out, I try to do that. I think it's just common courtesy. So, and of course, there's been plenty of times, we've been on trail, we're like, hey, I don't even feel like doing a fire. So, and in fact, there was actually one time last year that we didn't do a fire, and I noticed there was some wood sitting there, and I had my saw with me. I went ahead and cut that up and just stacked it up, and we went on to bed. So, it took me like 15, 20 minutes, just like I said, pay it forward, I think that was actually at East Fork. No, maybe not. No, it was at Red River Gorge. The first night we were there, I just cut up a little bit and just stacked it up. I had my Baco saw, and there was a couple longer pieces that people had started processing. I was like, okay, I'll just cut those up real quick, stack them over here. We're not doing a fire because it's 8, 9 o'clock at night. We're hot already, but like I said, just to leave it forward, pay it forward. It's always awesome. Anything in life is good to do that with. But yeah, we're gonna let this fire die down, finish up whatever little bit chores we gotta do, brush our teeth, and then we're gonna be in the hammocks. Well, guys, we're heading to bed. It's about almost midnight now. The fire's burnt down. Been a great day. Crazy hiking. Had to head back and get the water again like we did yesterday. Not too bad though. Alex is laying down as well. I don't know if you can see her. There she is. Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, pretty cool. But anyway, we're going to lay down and try to get some rest, and then we'll be up tomorrow. Head over to Site 8. Gonna be an awesome day, I believe. Probably be at site pretty early. Should have a nice big fire tomorrow night. And we will see you tomorrow on the trail in the morning, guys. Well, good morning, my fellow adventurers, and welcome back to day 3 here at Mohican Memorial State Forest. Been in the process of packing up. Alex slept in a little bit. I didn't get her up till about 9:30. I woke up at 8:35. Kind of timed myself getting my stuff down and getting everything packed up. I did it in 55 minutes. That includes eating and everything. So I'm really excited that I was able to be pretty efficient with the hammock. It kind of come back to me as I was, working through the last couple of days, having a hammock set up on how I normally did it. Because literally I could be on trail in the next 5 minutes, so that's definitely nothing to complain about. I still think I'd be a little bit faster with a tent, but not much. So as long as I can keep those comparable, I feel confident that I can kind of, interchange which setup I take when if I decide I just want to do a hammock camp this time, or a hammock or a tent camp this time, I could interchange those. So that was really exciting this morning. I slept really well last night. I had a great lay in my hammock. I mean, I literally was able to stretch out almost like it was a bed. I credit those straps because I'm able to get where I need to be with my hang. But other than that, yeah, I slept great. Real quiet in the woods last night after about midnight. And I woke up about 4:30 and had to go to the restroom. Other than that, slept great. Alex said she didn't sleep the greatest. It could have been maybe her hang wasn't great. I don't know. I mean, we checked her straps and everything. I thought it looked good. But she didn't sleep the greatest. But I did let her sleep till 9:30. So hopefully that'll kind of kick in. She'll feel a little bit better throughout the day. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, basically just kind of waiting for her to eat now and get finished packing up. She actually packs up faster than I do normally, so I'm not stressing it. And we're going to head over this direction and make the determination whether we're going to go home or go ahead and stay tonight. I'm hoping we can stay tonight because I feel pretty good. It really depends on how she feels once we get to the car. But other than that, yeah, great morning. Really beautiful. The sun is definitely high in the sky because it is a little bit right around 9:30 now. And nothing's wet. Everything's dry. Had a good fire. Burn everything down but that little bit there. A couple little extra logs laying here, and there's some sticks that we put on over here. So left a little bit for the next person to get started with, which is cool. We talked about that last night. But yeah, great morning, beautiful. I've already seen a couple of horses come through, a couple of riders. So people are definitely up bright and early this morning. So we're going to go ahead and finish packing up, get ready to get on trail, and get the mile, a little over a mile back to the car. And we'll figure out what's going on for the rest of the day. We're on trail now, heading out. Didn't take Alex too long to get packed up. She got her a little bit of breakfast, so we're actually in pretty good shape for the day. Got a little mud here and there. This of course is the red horse trail, so we'll probably pass some of that occasionally, but it's not too bad. So far it's been flat. We're about 1/10 of a mile from the site and just heading towards the car now. Still mulling over whether or not we're going to go home tonight. We haven't made that determination. I think we'll figure it out when we get to the car. We'll see how Alex's knee's doing and how she's feeling. But pretty easy trail so far. We're hoping that for the most part that this would be easy hiking out. Woods are really pretty still. Sun's out pretty bright now. It's about 10 o'clock, so still kind of early in the day, but moving in more towards noon now. Big tall pine trees. Really awesome. If we get to go over to Site 9, and that's what we'll probably be seeing a lot up on that ridge too, some pine trees, I believe. Yeah, definitely a lot of rutted out areas where the horses come through. And you do have to watch along the trail too for, I guess you'd call them horse bombs. Little droppings that you don't want to step in. That would be pretty detrimental to your shoes. This is actually pretty, it's covered in pine needles, decayed pine needles, but it actually almost feels like it's paved. I think it is, isn't it?
It looks like it.
It looks pretty, actually like it's an actual paved surface that's been covered over by some pine needles. This is the first time we've seen this. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's paved. Yeah,
it is. It's an old paved path. So yeah, more than likely this is going to be pretty flat on the way out. So if you want to come into Site 4, this might be the direction you want to come if you're not wanting a lot of hard hiking. Yeah, not too bad at all actually. Going to continue on. We should be over to the car shortly. So guys, yeah, that was an easy trail. We've been on trail maybe 20 minutes and we can see the car. We're coming up on the horse camp. If you remember from some of our previous videos, this is where you know, they come in with the horses and they can camp overnight. It's a big shelter here. The path is actually right out there, and that leads out to Site 4. It's actually the closest one to the horse camp, and there is no major incline. So if you want to do a quick, easy overnight or even a couple nights, you can carry water in from over here and go into that site. No big deal. Big tall pines right through here. But yeah, the car's right over there. We'll check back with you once we get over there. Yeah, we walked through the horse camp there. It's directly behind us. Car is right in front of me. We've made the determination we're gonna go ahead and head on home. We've been on trail 30 minutes. Literally, that's all it took us to get from there to here. It may not even been 30 minutes, maybe been actually probably closer to 25. And Alex's knee has already flared up a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and take her home, let her rest it today, and we may be going to the doctor tomorrow. I'll give you an update maybe at the end of this video, or at least at the beginning of the next video, on how her knee's doing. But yeah, we're gonna head on home. I don't want to risk her, you know, having any more issues with it, especially with school getting ready to start and everything.
Yeah.
But we are back to the car. The park and pack area here. And there's the car, park and pack parking. So it's really awesome that we were able to knock that out that quick this morning. I'd actually assumed it was a lot further. So yeah, if you want to come out to Mohican and you don't want to do a lot of hiking Site 4, you go straight back through the bridle camp, take a left onto the trail. It's 20 minutes, 25 minutes tops. You could even do like a water drop at your car and come back to it a couple of different times if you need to. It didn't take us any time to do that. Without a pack, I could probably jog it in 15 easily here. So that's really crazy. But guys, that was a great trip. Unfortunately, we do have to cut it short. Like, I want to make sure that her knee's okay and we don't have to deal with any future problems there. Maybe, like I said, go take her and get an x-ray or something like that, make sure the knee's okay. But other than that, it was a great trip. Hate cutting it short. But we're going to head home. We got about 2.5 hours drive back out to the west, kind of southwest from here, and get home, get a bite to eat, probably fix a good dinner tonight. But anyway, guys, for Living the Grand Adventure, I'm Kevin. Alex was with me. If you guys have enjoyed this video, definitely make sure that you like, share, subscribe, and comment. It'll help us out greatly. Check out my Instagram and my Facebook. We'll pop it up right here on the screen. Give that a look. We'll have plenty of pictures from this trip as well as other trips going forward and previous trips that you guys can check out that aren't part of our videos here on YouTube. And guys, you know, always remember to live your grand adventure to the fullest. We'll see you in the next video on the trail. Take care.